Good morning and welcome to the Relife podcast. I am your host, Marcus Moore, and today is a very special one indeed. Today, July 30th, 2021, Relife Academy is hosting its first ever product soft launch. Now, for those that don't know, Relife Academy is the first ever technology-based personal development platform that targets mental health and social adaptability by analyzing your unique environment and then engaging you with personalized course content that builds on those areas of opportunity, all with the goal of developing a better you along the way. And you can find out more by visiting relifeacademy.com today. Now, before I jump into today's topic, I want to give a huge shout out to our QA and development team as well as our testing groups. If it wasn't for each of you working together, we would have never been able to deliver our assessments with the level of security, accuracy, and integrity that we do. Now, with that being said, there's been a lot of discussion around what we should lead with for our first podcast episode. After all, a bit of back and forth, we kind of decided that it was best to focus on what brought Relife to where it is today, and that is discovering your potential and leading with purpose. So in the early spring of 2018, I was going through a very rough patch in my life that I felt was both unbearable but also equally deserved based on the actions that I chose to take. 2 months later, I landed a job selling books for a man who would become my first mentor. He's a great man, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity that I had to work with him. He had a knack for connecting with every person he came into contact with, and he had this saying that he stuck on the wall of the break room for everyone to see that said, "Winners take action." Now, while I appreciated the opportunity that was given after just a short time in the position, I was beginning to notice that our current system of book selling was very outdated. We needed to teach more people, and we needed to reach people quicker and more efficiently. How in the world am I going to do this? He told me, just keep selling and you'll get your way through it. And I felt there's probably got to be a better way. So in July 2018, I head out to the NEA conference with the president of the company at the time, who I later became friends with. 9 hours into a 13-hour drive into Minnesota, I look over to my colleague and I told him, look, I really like the values in the book, but I wish there was a way that we could have some sort of website or something where someone could log on, learn everything about the book, and then build on that knowledge with some kind of course, right? And it was at that moment I saw his eyes light up like I'd never seen before. And we spitballed ideas for the next 3 hours or so, ironing out what would become the base model of Relife Academy. I knew in that moment that I had discovered my potential. And so that we're clear, I did not discover the limits of my potential, only the initial seed of potential. I discovered something that was bigger than myself, something bigger than me, which I didn't really think I could find at that point. It was something that humbled me with how complex it could be, the implications of this system, the way in which it could help people. Everything about it was just really out of this world to me at that time. Just knowing that I had the ability to come up with something like that was mind-blowing. But if no one's told you, great ideas don't mean anything if you don't do anything about them. So it sounded like a really good idea. I was really excited about it, but I had absolutely no way of setting it all up. I'm not a developer, I'm not a database or systems administrator. I don't code in 20 languages. Heck, I barely make it through high school, right? Before I was just like, I'm good with that. So the smartest person at the company that I knew only knew how to dial for dollars, and not a single friend of mine was doing any better in their life than I was. So what do? Well, I did what anyone does when they don't know what to do. I started looking stuff up online. I'm researching everything that I can get my hands on. I'm looking at budgets from the Department of Justice, the Board of Education, state-funded programs, nonprofit organizations. I'm supposed to be calling and selling these books to jails, schools, and workforce education organizations. I don't know if you know anything about the economy of those three industries I just listed, but let me tell you right now, there is absolutely no federal or state allocated money to purchase large sums of books from a for-profit company, not just here in Oklahoma, but across the contiguous United States. So hour after hour, day after day, there were roadblocks coming up to the point that I gave up. I put Relife on the back burner, and it stayed there until about December of 2020. So fast forward to February of 2021, I was lucky enough to come into contact with a second mentor. He was the delivery and portfolio manager of a large multi-billion-dollar technology firm, and this man explained what no one else had ever explained to me. He showed me how to manage operations, expectations, lead with integrity, and build a product, even when you have absolutely no idea how to do it. At this point, I had been doing consulting for, probably about 5 years, and none of that dealt with project management. It only dealt with client management. So project management was a brand new word to me. So from that day until now, I've chosen to lead with purpose. The purpose of Relife Academy is to give each of you a second chance at life, to teach you the things you were never taught, and to give you the tools you've never been given to do things you could only imagine. So by leading with purpose, we were able to streamline our testing algorithm and training systems. We were able to gather data that we needed so that today we could present that to people who can help us make a difference in the lives of every single person who listens to this podcast across the entire globe. We are committed to meet you where you are when you need us. Right now, we are developing over 250 granular course modules for every facet of life based on your individual assessment scores. Our licensed testing administrators are going to take that assessment and all of those scores, and then they're going to build a personalized development plan that's unique to you and how you process the world around you. That is leading with purpose. We are working to establish Relife Academy in various vocational and correctional facilities to help target issues with recidivism and to promote cultural and emotional development, even in the toughest of systems across the world. All with the hope that the people coming out of those facilities are going to be better equipped to handle the world around them than they were when they entered that facility. That is leading with purpose. So the takeaway for today is to think about what you are doing right now as you listen to the podcast that promotes your potential and allows you to lead with purpose. Maybe you're tired of the way people treat you. Maybe you're tired of the way people treat other people while you sit by and watch it happen. If you don't like the way people treat you, you need to learn how to set stronger boundaries. Where is your potential to set those boundaries? How badly do you want to set those boundaries? I'm going to tell you right now, if you want something bad enough, you will do absolutely anything within your power to make it happen. And at the end of the day, everything you do, and alternatively, everything you get, is because you told yourself that it was acceptable. Listen, you are capable of incredible change, but it has to start with you, and I know you can do it. My name's Marcus, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the first episode of the Relife podcast. Until next time, have a great day.